So welcome everyone. Welcome to today's lecture of hypothesis testing in research under the module of theories of engineering experimentations. So we have discussed enough about the theories of engineering experimentation, under which we first learned about design of experimentation, that is designing an experimentation from scratch. So right from selection of parameter, selection of objective function, what will be my input, output and other affecting parameters, then what parameters will I select for my study, how the data recording is done, data tabulation is done, and ultimately data analysis by using some statistical software is done. So as far as the data analysis part is concerned, we are now uh, on the verge of discussing some statistical testing methods, before which we have to discuss hypothesis testing. So the agenda for today's lecture is, we will learn what is hypothesis, then what are the characteristics of hypothesis, then formulation of hypothesis statement, then what are the basic concepts which are related to hypothesis and hypothesis testing, and we will end up today's particular lecture at procedure for hypothesis testing. So first of all, we will try to understand that what is hypothesis. So it is some assumption or some supposition which is to be proved or disapproved, which means that it is a statement. What statement? The statement about your research. Now any research which you are going to do or which you are pursuing have some basic what we can say, the purpose or the basic aim or the goal, and that particular goal you are ultimately trying to prove or disprove. So some of the studies are regarding proving a concept, and some studies are about disproving the concept which is already suggested by someone else. So this is generally related to foundation research, where a particular scientist comes with a theory or comes with a concept and he is trying to prove that concept, or some critic scientist, after the proposition of that concept, is trying to prove or disprove. What we do in applied research, as that is also a different article where we can see the type of research. So the research which you are going to do or which you are doing, your research topic comes under which type of research. So in some other lecture we will try to cover that. So if it is a foundation research, then we will talk about theorems and concepts and theories. But if it is applied research or application based research, in such research you are again trying to prove or disprove something. For example, in some previous class we have taken an example of one therapeutic trial in which the researcher or experimenter were in belief that there will be an effect of salt water on the blood pressure of mouse. So which means that there is a statement, like I am quoting it. So there is a statement, quote, that there is a direct effect of salt water on blood pressure of mouse, unquote, which means that this is a statement which is to be proved by experimentation. So the experimentation we are carrying out is to prove this statement, or there can be a reverse experiment to carried out to disprove this statement. So this statement is called as hypothesis. Is that clear? So in other words, for a researcher, hypothesis is a formal question that he intends to solve. It means that your ultimate purpose of research is your hypothesis. Okay. Now some points about research hypothesis. So it is a predictive statement capable of being tested by scientific method. Now your statement should be capable of being tested. उसका टेस्ट होना चाहिए. Okay, which means that if I am quoting something, if I am declaring a statement about my research, for example, the same example, that there is a high effect of salt water on blood pressure of mouse. So this statement can be tested. How it can be tested? Somebody can take a sample of mouse. They will carry out the experimentation as two mouses are being fed up by salt water, two mouses by normal water, and then they will measure the blood pressure of all the mouses, and they will try to test your statement, either to prove it or to disprove it. So by scientific method, independent variable are proved to be related to some dependent variable. This we have already discussed, that in any research our ultimate aim is to prove that my independent variable, which means my input parameters or causes, or what we can say factors, are related to dependent variable or response or effect. Okay, so by scientific method, a statement which is either to be proved or disproved is called as hypothesis statement. For example, kids of educated parents will show greater focus in academics than kids of uneducated parents. Now this is a statement. ओके अभी ये स्टेटमेंट का कोई वैलिडेशन या कोई व्हाट वी कैन से इट हैज़ नो रिलायबिलिटी एज ऑफ नाउ. इट इज़ जस्ट द स्टेटमेंट विच इज़ डिक्लेयर्ड बाय समवन. नाउ दिस स्टेटमेंट इज़ आइदर टू बी प्रूव्ड और डिसप्रूव्ड बाय सम काइंड ऑफ साइंटिफिक इवेल्युएशन कि सही में ऐसा होता है क्या. स्टेटमेंट क्या बोल रहा है? पढ़े लिखे लोगों के जो बच्चे होते हैं वो एकेडमिक्स में उनका फोकस अच्छा होता है एज़ कम्पेयर टू उन पेरेंट्स के जो पढ़े लिखे नहीं हैं. ओके, और देर इज अनदर फैमिली ऑफ हाइपोथेसिस स्टेटमेंट विच इज मशीन ए इज परफॉर्मिंग मोर एफिशिएंटली देन मशीन बी. सो इट इज़ अ डायरेक्ट कंपैरिजन. मैं तुझसे अच्छा हूँ, मेरा बेटा आपके बेटे से ज़्यादा अच्छा डांस करता है. ओके, या आपकी बेटी मेरी बेटी से पढ़ाई में कमज़ोर है. All these are the statements which can float directly, but before getting it statistically verified, we cannot say that this statement is true. So what is hypothesis? It is a statement which is not yet proved to be true or false. Okay, it is yet to be proved or disproved. So if it is proved right, then it is true. If it is disproved, then we can say the statement is false. So these are the hypotheses capable of being objectively verified and tested. We can test this. Kids of educated parents will show greater focus in academics than kids of uneducated parents. We can test it. What we will do, we will have a design study in which we will have some questionnaire, or we will analyze the grade cards of all the students in the class, and we will have some record of the education background of their parents, and then we will use the statistical parameters like mean, mode, median, standard deviation, by which we will prove that whether the statement quoted here is true or not. So we may conclude that a hypothesis states what we are looking for. So first of all, आपके हाइपोथेसिस स्टेटमेंट में वो सब कुछ होना चाहिए जो आप अपनी स्टडी में या रिसर्च में कर रहे हो. ओके, and last, it is a proposition which can be put to a test to determine its validity. Means your hypothesis statement should be a proposition. आपके पूरे के पूरे रिसर्च का सार जिसको बोलते हैं. ओके, समरी ऑफ योर रिसर्च, that actually what you are doing in your research. Can you express it in one line or one statement? That particular statement is hypothesis statement, and that should not be vague. See, the statement of the both statement which are quoted above are so specific. It is not like once upon a time. It is not like a story, right? It is a complete closed statement in which either two machines are compared or two kids of educated and uneducated parents are compared with some kind of indicative parameter. So in the first statement, the parameter is focus in academics, and in the second statement the parameter is efficiency. Okay, so we can measure it. Okay, we can verify it, test it, we can determine its validity. So first exercise which you should do regarding your research, okay, now you are UG students, so very soon you are being facing the major project, final year project, in which you will do some kind of research. And at that time, are you able to formulate or state your complete research in one statement, which is called as hypothesis statement? Then we'll see what are the characteristic of hypothesis. क्या characteristic होने चाहिए? What should be a hypothesis statement be like? So first, as I already said, it should be clear and precise. It should not be a loop statement or a vague statement. Then it should be capable of being tested. Okay, इसका एग्जाम्पल हमेशा मैं देता हूँ कि दो दोस्त हैं, एक ने बोला आसमान में तारे कितने हैं, दूसरे ने जवाब दे दिया, बिकॉज उसको पता है ये सामने वाला गिन नहीं पाएगा. सो हाइपोथेसिस स्टेटमेंट ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि जो टेस्ट ही ना हो पाए. ओके, आई एम कोटिंग द हाइपोथेसिस स्टेटमेंट दैट देयर इज मोर देन 1 लीटर वाटर पर स्क्वायर फीट ऑन मार्स. ओके, सो इसका टेस्ट कैसे होगा अभी? ओके, एट प्रेजेंटली वी हैव नॉट रीच्ड फिजिकली टू मार्स. ओके, सिर्फ हमारे सैटेलाइट्स जा पाए हैं. ओके, so your hypothesis statement must be able of or capable of being tested. Okay, then third characteristic is your hypothesis statement should state relationship between variables if it happens to be a relational hypothesis. Generally in engineering experimentation we deal with relational hypothesis. Okay, we are trying to establish the relationship between my input parameters and output parameters. So as we discussed the performance of swimmer or some performance of construction worker, performance of an athlete or performance of a student in the academics, we take some output parameters and n number of input parameters and we try to establish the relationship between them. Okay, then next, your hypothesis statement should be limited in scope and must be specific. It should not be this statement which is of huge scope. Okay, okay, 5 trillion economy. Now they are aspiring to take our economy to 5 trillion, but in coming 5 to 10 years. Okay, so if you say in your hypothesis statement about 10 trillion economy, which is not even in the planning of government, then it is the statement which is out of scope. So your hypothesis statement should be achievable within your research time frame. So if you are undergoing a UG project, the time available is 14 months max. Okay, one year and 2 months. Or if you are conducting a PG project, then you have 2 years, and if you are conducting a PhD, then you have 3 years. So your hypothesis and your scope of work should be achievable in that particular research time frame. Okay, and last characteristic is it should be stated in most simple terms so that it is easily understandable, but simplicity of hypothesis has nothing to do with its significance. Now the thing here which is given more emphasis here, that your hypothesis statement should be understandable by a layman. So if I am performing some engineering research, okay, for my branch, the depth of the concept can be like anything. Okay, so I am doing image processing, or what we can say a discrete event simulation. Okay, और ये सारे terms जो normal जो particular layman है who is a non-engineer वो नहीं समझ पाएगा. Okay, image processing, fluid dynamics, computational fluid dynamics, okay, discrete event simulation. So my research should be, when it is represented in the form of hypothesis statement, that statement should be very simple so that anybody can understand it. But even if your statement is simple, it doesn't mean that your research is simple. Okay, or your research is not significant. The hypothesis statement is just to make people understand in one line or two line that what you are doing in your research. Then some more characteristic. The statement should be consistent with known facts. It must be consistent with a substantial body of established facts. In other words, it should be one which judges accept as being the most likely. ओके वो एकदम फैक्ट से अलग नहीं होना चाहिए कि पढ़ते से ही कोई उसको डिसअप्रूव कर दे. ओके जैसे आपका स्टेटमेंट है शाहरुख खान इज़ फीमेल. नाउ इट इज़ अवे फ्रॉम द फैक्ट. सो even if your hypothesis statement is yet to be proved or disapproved, it should be based on substantial body of established facts. Okay, then it should be amenable to testing within a reasonable time. Yes, testing time should not be very much. It is somewhat related to scope, but here it is talking about the testing time. Testing time को बहुत ज़्यादा time नहीं लगना चाहिए, वैसा आपका हाइपोथेसिस होना चाहिए. देन द हाइपोथेसिस मस्ट एक्सप्लेन द फैक्ट्स दैट गेव राइज टू नीड फॉर एक्सप्लेनेशन. दिस मीन्स दैट बाय यूजिंग द हाइपोथेसिस प्लस अदर नोन एंड एक्सेप्टेड जनरलाइजेशन. मतलब आपके हाइपोथेसिस से अगर कुछ और सवाल खड़े होते हैं, जैसे आपके हाइपोथेसिस में एक वर्ड आ गया इमेज प्रोसेसिंग. देन इफ अ पर्सन unknown person ask about image processing, then you have to establish the other generalization and facts about image processing. Okay, and last is it should have empirical reference. empirical reference मतलब कहीं ना कोई उसके बीच में मैथमेटिकल एनालिसिस कभी हुआ है, या आप अगर कंडक्ट कर रहे हो तो आर यू एस्टेब्लिशिंग सम काइंड ऑफ मैथमेटिकल रिलेशनशिप और empirical relationship between them. Empirical basically means the relationship which is on the basis of experiment and practical experience, not on the mere ideas. So कहीं ना कहीं उस पर कोई एक्सपेरिमेंटेशन हुआ है, किसी ने प्रूव किया है, ऐसा कोई रेफरेंस आपके हाइपोथेसिस का होना चाहिए. Now we will learn about formulation of hypothesis. So what is general hypothesis? So for example, a research is to be conducted to determine if there is any impact of gender on taste preferences of multi-cuisine restaurants. State the null and alternative hypothesis. Now there are two hypotheses discussed here. First of all, we will learn about the general hypothesis, and then we will see what is null hypothesis and what is alternative hypothesis. So what is the research about कि जेंडर का मतलब मेल फीमेल का टेस्ट प्रेफरेंसेस में कुछ रोल है क्या. इट इज़ टू डिटरमाइन. सो अगेन इफ वी गो बैक टू फर्स्ट लेक्चर ऑफ DOE, दिस इज द काइंड ऑफ डिटर्मिनिस्टिक एक्सपेरिमेंट, नॉट वैलिडेशन एक्सपेरिमेंट. ये ऐसा नहीं बोल रहे कि इम्पैक्ट है या नहीं है. इन द स्टेटमेंट इटसेल्फ they are saying that it is to determine. Okay, the study is about. Now we have to design the statement. So null hypothesis or alternate hypothesis. Null hypothesis is represented by H suffix O, okay, or H suffix 0. So HO is the null hypothesis and HA is alternative hypothesis. So null hypothesis is basically the statement which beats your purpose of study. Now आपका रिसर्च किस पे है? Impact of gender on taste preferences. And what the null hypothesis statement is, there is no effect of gender. तो फिर आप स्टडी कर ही क्यों रहे हो, रिसर्च कर ही क्यों रहे हो? सो इट इज़ द स्टेटमेंट विच मेक्स योर स्टडी नल. नल मतलब उसको मतलब आपकी स्टडी को वो पर्पसलेस बना देता है, डिसअप्रूव कर देता है और स्टडी को एक तरीके से नकार देता है. नल हाइपोथेसिस स्टेटमेंट. सो दैट्स व्हाई इट इज कॉल्ड एज नल हाइपोथेसिस. सो व्हाट इज नल हाइपोथेसिस हियर? दैट देयर इज नो इफेक्ट ऑफ जेंडर ऑन टेस्ट प्रेफरेंसेस. अब आप स्टडी ही उस पर कर रहे हो कि जेंडर का क्या इम्पैक्ट है टेस्ट प्रेफरेंस पे. सो व्हाट विल बी अल्टरनेट हाइपोथेसिस? देयर इज सम इफेक्ट, सम भी नहीं लिखा हुआ, देयर इज इफेक्ट ऑफ जेंडर ऑन टेस्ट प्रेफरेंसेस. सो किसी भी स्टडी का जो नल हाइपोथेसिस रहेगा, आपके भी स्टडी का एक नल हाइपोथेसिस रहेगा. इफ़ यू आर कैरिंग आउट द रिसर्च इन let's say improving the income of the farmer by some न्यू एज टेक्नोलॉजिकल डेवलपमेंट्स, और उसमें आपका एक स्टेट उसमें आपका अप्रोच ऐसा है दैट यू विल प्रोवाइड फ्री टेक्नोलॉजी टू फार्मर एंड देयर ईल्ड विल बी इम्प्रूव. ईल्ड मतलब उनका जो खेती का जो आउटपुट है, मतलब एक जन अगर अभी 2 टन उगा रहा है तो आपका ऐसा रिसर्च है कि आई विल प्रोवाइड द टेक्नोलॉजी एंड इट विल बिकम 4 टन्स. सो व्हाट नल हाइपोथेसिस विल से, देर इज़ नो इफेक्ट ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजिकल एडवांसमेंट ऑन द यील्ड ऑफ द फार्मर, मतलब आउटपुट ऑफ द फार्मर. इसका मतलब कि आप ये स्टडी कर ही क्यों रहे हो फिर, बिकॉज यू आर प्रोवाइडिंग टेक्नोलॉजी टू इम्प्रूव द आउटपुट. And null hypothesis is saying that there is no effect of technology on the output. So your null hypothesis, your research will have 2 hypothesis statement. One will be null hypothesis and second will be alternative hypothesis. So H0 is null hypothesis, HA is alternative hypothesis. Now this is a general one. Now what is specific hypothesis? Now a therapeutic trial is to be conducted to test whether or not a new drug reduces the cholesterol by 25%. It is very specific, they are talking about 25%. State the null and alternative hypothesis. So what will be the null hypothesis? The drug reduces the cholesterol by 25% and the drug does not reduce the cholesterol by 25%. So again there is one null statement. अगर null statement है तो फिर स्टडी होगा ही नहीं, बिकॉज नल स्टेटमेंट बोल रहा है कि वो करता ही है. सो फिर आपकी स्टडी टू टेस्ट वेदर इट डज और नॉट इज ऑफ नो यूज, बिकॉज नल विल से देर इज नो नीड टू कंडक्ट द स्टडी. एंड ऑल्टरनेटिव says that the drug does not reduce cholesterol by 25%. Okay, so these are the example of null and alternative hypothesis. Now we will read some more things about null and alternative hypothesis. So if we are to compare method A with method B about its superiority, जैसे हमने एक स्टेटमेंट देखा था, machine A is performing more efficiently than machine B. So you are directly comparing two things about superiority or goodness, measure of betterness. Okay, so if we proceed on the assumption that both methods are equally good, देन दिस इज नल हाइपोथेसिस. जैसा मैंने कहा, हाइपोथेसिस स्टेटमेंट क्या है, मेरा रिसर्च किस पे है, दैट ए इज़ बेटर देन बी. इस पे मैं रिसर्च कर रहा हूँ. एंड इफ माई स्टेटमेंट सेज दैट देयर इज़ नो डिफरेंस बिटवीन द परफॉर्मेंस ऑफ ए एंड बी, दे आर इक्वल, देन मेरे रिसर्च का कोई पर्पज़ ही नहीं, पर्पज़ ही बीट हो गया. सो सच स्टेटमेंट इज कॉल्ड एज नल हाइपोथेसिस. एज अगेंस्ट दिस वी मे थिंक दैट method A is superior or method B is inferior, or we are stating what is termed as alternative hypothesis. Okay, so if I say both are equal, then it will be null statement. Both are not equal, it will be alternative statement. Then whenever we will say that both are not equal, then alternative hypothesis के again 2 parts बनते हैं. When I am saying that both are not equal, this is my alternative hypothesis statement. Then when both are not equal, which is better? So one statement will be A is better than B and other statement will be B is better than A. So in this way, if I reach to alternative hypothesis, null hypothesis अगर मेरा true हो जाता है तो फिर research वहीं पर रुक जाता है, because it beats the purpose of your research. Okay, so as we already know, the null hypothesis is symbolized as H0 and the alternative hypothesis as HA. Okay, so if our sample results do not support the null hypothesis, we should conclude that something else is true. What we conclude rejecting the null hypothesis is known as alternative hypothesis. तो इसको अगर आप ध्यान से पढ़ेंगे, when the null hypothesis is accepted, the study stops because there is no purpose of research then. And if the null hypothesis is rejected, it automatically means that alternative hypothesis is accepted. So if null is false, alternative hypothesis is true. Okay, so if we accept H0, then we are rejecting HA, and if we reject H0, then we are accepting HA. This is a common sense. So here there are three types of alternative hypothesis given. As I said, when mu is equal to mu H0, let's say here mu is mean. Okay, now I would like to throw some light on the terminology here. Okay, now we are talking about mean मतलब होता है average. Okay, so if I am claiming some of the statement, some of the hypothesis statement related to some average of population. Okay, तो कोई भी statement हो सकता है that जो जनरली सलमान खान के स्टेटमेंट्स होते थे, कितने प्रतिशत भारतीय फलाना फलाना करते हैं. सो इट इज़ अबाउट परसेंटेज ऑफ पॉपुलेशन. So now in my particular statement it is about how much people. तो जब मैं how much people की बात कर रहा हूँ, it never means that मेरे जो स्टेटमेंट है उसमें अगर मैं पूछ रहा हूँ कितना, इसका मतलब मेरे को ये डाउट नहीं है whether it is there or not. Now I will give you the example. If I am interested in knowing the percentage of women interested in lipstick, okay, this is my statement. Percentage of women in a particular area, let's say Nagpur, those who are interested in using the lipstick. Now if I am interested in knowing the percentage, I am in no doubt that whether they are interested or not. Okay, whether they are interested or not. So what will be my null hypothesis? मेरा null hypothesis बोलेगा women are not at all interested. मेरा research क्या है? How many women are interested? Null hypothesis बोल रहा है women are not at all interested. So it will beat my purpose of research. So it will be rejected. When null is rejected, what is accepted? Alternative hypothesis. So it says that mu is not equal to mu HO. Mu is just mean. इसका mathematical form है ये. So what was null hypothesis? Mu is equal to mu HO, which is rejected, and that's why we came to this hypothesis mu is not equal to mu HO. Now when it is not equal, it means that whether it will be greater than mu HO or it will be less than mu HO. Okay, you can read it here. The alternative hypothesis is that population mean is not equal to 100. Null hypothesis था population mean is equal to 100. So वो तो रिजेक्ट हो गया, null hypothesis रिजेक्ट हो गया. So क्या एक्सेप्ट हुआ? अल्टरनेट. अब अल्टरनेट हाइपोथेसिस ये है कि पॉपुलेशन मीन इज नॉट इक्वल टू 100. अब अगर नॉट इक्वल है तो दो चांसेस रहेंगे. अगर 100 नहीं है तो आइदर 100 से कम है या 100 से ज़्यादा है. सो हियर माई वन ऑल्टरनेटिव हाइपोथेसिस is derived into two other alternative hypotheses, that one is greater than mu h0, that is greater than 100, and less than 100. When it is not equal to 100, then it can be greater than 100, it can be less than 100. This is called as what we can say the sub branching of alternative hypothesis. So the null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis are chosen before the sample is drawn. Now this is about the ethics of research. What is the sequence of research? You should first study, okay, then you should do literature review. Literature review से हमको ये पता चलता है कि मेरी इच्छा जो रिसर्च करने की है उस पर ऑलरेडी क्या क्या काम किन किन लोगों के द्वारा किन किन कंट्रीज़ में कौन से ईयर में हुआ है. So it is the prime and ethical responsibility to have the review of all the studies which are already conducted on the same topic of your research. And what we do now, we refer that studies, whatever they have done, where they have left their research, and from there we have to take our study further. Then after literature review, we have to find research gaps. Then research gaps ढूंढने के बाद we have to formulate our objectives, what we are going to do in our research. Okay, then we should decide hypothesis first. Okay, what is my null hypothesis, what is my alternative hypothesis. Then we should take the data to verify that hypothesis. Okay, and from that data we have to do analysis and we have to prove or disprove our hypothesis. But generally what people do, first they collect the data, okay, and then derive the hypothesis from the analysis of the data. So अगर आपको पता करना है how many what percentage of pregnant women are interested in watching a movie during their pregnancy, okay, आपको percentage निकालना है. So you will have the statement first, then you go to the field and collect the data from pregnant women. उनको क्वेश्चनर दो, वहाँ से उनके जो भी प्रेफरेंसेस है उनको रिकॉर्ड करो, एंड देन analyze that data and prove or disprove your statement. If you are saying that 25%, then if your data says that it is less than 25%, you prove or disprove it. Okay, but don't do that. First collect the data of all the pregnant women, and based on the analysis of data, then we will be formulating the hypothesis statement which is true, because आपको पता ही है उसका अल्टीमेट रिजल्ट. तो पहले रिजल्ट जानने के बाद आपने हाइपोथेसिस स्टेटमेंट फॉर्मुलेट किया. सो इट इज कॉल्ड एज अनएथिकल रिसर्च. So it should, your hypothesis should be designed before the sample is drawn, means before the data is collected. Then alternative hypothesis is usually the one which wishes to prove, and the null hypothesis is the one which wishes to disprove. जैसे मैंने कहा, null hypothesis मेरे स्टडी को रोक देता है, इसलिए जनरली ऐसी हर रिसर्चर की इच्छा होती है that the null hypothesis should be rejected and alternate hypothesis should be accepted. Because null अगर accept हो जाएगा, it means that you are doing the research without any purpose. Okay. So a null hypothesis represent the hypothesis we are trying to reject, and alternative hypothesis represent all other possibilities. जैसा मैंने बोला, when it is not equal, then it can be greater than also, it can be less than also. We will be able to evaluate all the possibilities if we go with alternative hypothesis. So null hypothesis should always be specific, that is, it should not state about or approximately a certain value. Now my null hypothesis should be a specific value, okay, so that I can reject it for my study and accept the alternative hypothesis. तो यहाँ जैसे देखा था, उसने कहा in null hypothesis mu is equal to 100, it is very specific, mu is equal to 100, that's why it got rejected. So when mu is not equal to 100, it means that it can be greater than 100, it can be less than 100. Now level of significance. What is level of significance? So if the rejection of certain hypothesis when it is actually true involves a great risk, okay, it is taken as null hypothesis, because then the probability of rejecting it when it is true which is chosen very small. अब देखो दो तरीके हैं. I am saying that when null hypothesis is accepted, alternate will reject. When alternate is accepted, null will reject. So अब इसमें there are 4 cases. Case number 1, I reject the null hypothesis when it is false. I reject the null, I am repeating, I reject the null hypothesis when it is false. I accept the null hypothesis when it is false. Okay, then I reject the alternative hypothesis when it is true, and I am accepting the alternative hypothesis when it is true. So the risk which is involved, okay, in rejection of a certain hypothesis when it is true, okay, so it is always taken as null hypothesis, because then we come up with a term called as level of significance. वो मैं आगे बताता हूँ. So it is the level of risk which researcher decide, just as a, हमने इसके पहले क्या पढ़ा है, permissible error in my instrument. Now I know that कि मेरे इंस्ट्रूमेंट में कितना भी मैं कैलिब्रेशन करूँ, कितने भी अच्छे इंस्ट्रूमेंट लेके आऊँ, जैपनीज टेक्नोलॉजी लेके आऊँ या नॉन कॉन्टैक्ट टाइप इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स लेके आऊँ, there will be some instrumental error. So what I do, if that error is within the permissible limit, I allow that error. In a similar way, this is the risk, that is significance level is the risk which I am allowing in my experimentation. So what is that percentage? It is usually 5%. Okay, which should be chosen with great care, thought and reason. So in case we take the significance level at 5%, this implies that HO will be rejected when the sampling result has less than 5% probability of occurring if HO is true. मतलब अगर मैंने एक बार अपना significance level 5% ले लिया, then only 5% chances or 5% risk will be there that I will reject the null hypothesis when it is true. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? नल हाइपोथेसिस रिजेक्ट होना अच्छी बात है या बुरी बात है? अच्छी बात है, राइट? मैंने पहले ही बोला, वी आर ऑलवेज in the interest of rejecting the null hypothesis, because if we accept it, our research will stop. So one chance is there that if you reject the null hypothesis and if it is true, then what will you do? जैसे मैंने बताया, आप स्टडी कर रहे हो इफेक्ट ऑफ सॉल्ट वाटर ऑन ब्लड प्रेशर ऑफ माउस. सो आपका नल हाइपोथेसिस स्टेटमेंट बोलेगा देयर इज नो इफेक्ट ऑफ सॉल्ट वाटर ऑन ब्लड प्रेशर ऑफ माउस. So you have to reject this statement. What if this statement is true? So you are taking 5% risk, which means that there are 5% chances that the statement is true and still you are rejecting the null hypothesis. तो इसका नुकसान क्या होगा? बहुत में बहुत आप स्टडी करने के बाद आपको दिखेगा दैट देयर इज नो इफेक्ट. सो स्टडी करने के बाद आपको पता चलेगा मैंने जो नल हाइपोथेसिस के स्टेटमेंट को रिजेक्ट कर दिया वो एक्चुअली सही था, इट वाज ट्रू, बट आई रिजेक्टेड इट. इसलिए हमने बोला कि हमेशा नल हाइपोथेसिस के साथ ही रिस्क क्यों लिया जाता है, क्योंकि इसमें बहुत में बहुत आपका टाइम वेस्ट होगा. बट इफ यू डू रिवर्स, if you take a risk of rejecting the alternate hypothesis when it is true, तो फिर आपका रिस्क क्या है? या अदर वर्ड्स में बोलो, एक्सेप्टिंग द नल हाइपोथेसिस व्हेन इट इज फॉल्स. ठीक है, अब फॉल्स है वो, देयर इज द स्टेटमेंट इज देयर इज नो इफेक्ट ऑफ सॉल्ट वाटर ऑन ब्लड प्रेशर. एक्चुअली में वो फॉल्स स्टेटमेंट है, बट आपने उसको एक्सेप्ट कर लिया. तो क्या होगा? आपने आगे स्टडी नहीं की, तो पूरा का पूरा रिसर्च आपका सफ़र करेगा. ओके, दैट इज वाई द लेवल ऑफ सिग्निफिकेंस, दैट इज 5% रिस्क, is already taken at the end of rejecting the null hypothesis when it is true. Okay, so in other words, the 5% level of significance means that researcher is willing to take the risk as much as 5% for rejecting the null hypothesis when it is true. Okay, and the significance level is the maximum value of probability of rejecting HO when it is true. Now it will be clear by this particular decision rule. So there is some decision rule, so for testing the hypothesis. So given a hypothesis H0 and alternative hypothesis HA, we make a rule which is known as decision rule, according to which we accept HO. Accepting HO means that rejecting HA, or we reject HO, which means ultimately accepting the HA. So for instance, if HO is that a certain lot is good, means without defective, against HA that lot is not good. अब देखो यहाँ पे क्वालिटी की बात हो रही है, एक लॉट की बात हो रही है. तो HO मतलब मेरा नल हाइपोथेसिस बोलता है दैट लॉट इज गुड, देयर आर नो डिफेक्टिव्स इन द लॉट. दिस इज माय नल हाइपोथेसिस, यू कैन नोट इट डाउन. Okay, what is my null hypothesis statement? There are no defectives in a lot. And what is my alternative hypothesis statement? There are too many defectives in a lot, or the lot is not good. ये मेरा alternative hypothesis है. अब कौन से को accept करना चाहिए, कौन से को reject करना चाहिए, because I don't know the actual condition of the lot, and I cannot go for 100% inspection. Okay, what if the lot is of 10,000 item? Will I measure it? Okay, 10,000 आइटम को मैं गिन पाऊंगा? नहीं गिन पाऊंगा. So what will I do? I will decide that I will draw a sample of 10 randomly. ठीक है, कुछ कुछ सैंपल निकालूंगा मैं, 4-5 सैंपल रैंडमली उस लॉट में से 4-5 सैंपल निकालूंगा. हर सैंपल 10 पीस का होगा, विच इज़ कॉल्ड एज सैंपल साइज. सो 10 पीस का जब मैं सैंपल निकालूंगा उसमें एक डिफेक्टिव आया तो चलेगा, आई विल से दैट द लॉट इज़ गुड. लेकिन अगर मेरे 10 के सैंपल में एक से ज़्यादा डिफेक्टिव आ गया, अगेन आई एम रिपीटिंग, आई एम सॉरी, what I will say, I will make a decision rule that I will draw a sample of 10. If in the sample 1 is defective, I will say that the lot is good. Okay, if the defectives are more than 1, I will say that the lot is bad, which means that अगर मेरा एक डिफेक्टिव निकला तो मेरा null hypothesis accept होगा. पढ़ो ऊपर, what is null hypothesis? The lot is good. So if there is only one defective in the sample of 10, my null hypothesis will be accepted. If there is 2 or more defectives in the sample of 10, my alternative hypothesis will be accepted. So on the basis of this decision rule, I will accept and reject the null hypothesis. But what about actuality? पूरे लॉट का एक्चुअली जो सिनारियो है क्वालिटी का, वो एक्चुअली क्या है? सो हो सकता है पूरे लॉट में 2 ही डिफेक्टिव हो और वो उसके पहले ही सैंपल में आ गए हो. नाउ इफ द लॉट इज ऑफ 1000 में सिर्फ 2 डिफेक्टिव अगर हैं तो ये लॉट ख़राब है क्या? नहीं, द लॉट इज़ गुड. बट आपके डिसीजन रूल के हिसाब से आपने पहले ही सैंपल 10 का लिया, उसमें दोनों डिफेक्टिव आ गए, जिसके कारण आपको ये बोलना पड़ा द लॉट इज़ बैड. So there is a difference between decision rule and actual scenario. So because of that 4 conditions are generated. One is you accept the null hypothesis when it is true. So you accept the null hypothesis when it is true, it is a correct decision. Similarly you reject the null hypothesis when it is false, again it is correct decision. But when you accept the null hypothesis when it is false, it is called as beta error, called as type 2 error. And you reject the null hypothesis when it is true, it is type 1 error, called as alpha error. Now forget these two because these two are correct decisions. Okay, you have accepted it when it is true, you have rejected it when it is false. We will talk about these 2 columns. If you can see, let me switch on the laser pointer. Okay, we will talk about these 2, type 1 error and type 2 error. Which error is more dangerous? Which error is more dangerous? When the statement is true and we will reject it, or when the statement is false we will accept it. So it is said that in statistics the type 2 error or beta error is always more dangerous. It is just like the cliche line from Bollywood that अगर एक गुनहगार छूट जाए तो भी चलेगा, इट इज़ टाइप 1 एरर. लेकिन एक बेगुनाह को सज़ा नहीं होनी चाहिए, इट इज़ टाइप 2 एरर. कैसे? आप नल हाइपोथेसिस को रिजेक्ट कर रहे हो जबकि वो ट्रू है, तो क्या होगा? आपका बहुत में बहुत स्टडी का टाइम वेस्ट होगा, एफर्ट वेस्ट हो गए, थोड़ा बहुत पैसा वेस्ट होगा. बट अगर वो स्टेटमेंट फॉल्स है और आपने उसको एक्सेप्ट कर लिया नल हाइपोथेसिस को, इसका मतलब आपने अल्टरनेट को रिजेक्ट कर दिया और अल्टरनेट में ही आपका सारा रिसर्च छुपा हुआ था. सो एक्सेप्टिंग द नल हाइपोथेसिस व्हेन इट इज़ फॉल्स, it is called as beta error, type 2 error, which is very dangerous. So intentionally while designing the experimentation, we always take the risk of type 1 error, that is alpha error, and in other words we call it as level of significance. Okay, now we will talk about one tail or two tail test. Now test word आने से क्या हो गया? We are testing something. How we are testing? We are testing it statistically. जैसे मैंने बताया था, this is a normal distribution curve विच इज़ कॉल्ड एज बेल शेप कर्व, जो हमने एरर एंड अनसर्टेनिटी इन एक्सपेरिमेंटेशन के टाइम भी पढ़ा था, नॉर्मल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कर्व. ओके, नाउ व्हाट इज वन टेल टेस्ट एंड व्हाट इज टू टेल टेस्ट. ओके, टेल मतलब पूछ. ओके, सो when your null hypothesis is like this, mu is equal to mu ho. So generally it is ho is at center of the graph. So we are talking about this line. We are talking about this dotted line at the center. It is null hypothesis. So when your mu matlab tested variable is equal to mu ho, it will come in center. So it is null hypothesis. So if this is rejected, what will be accepted? Alternate hypothesis. तो अगर ये इक्वल बोल रहा है तो अल्टरनेट क्या बोलेगा? नॉट इक्वल. अब जैसा मैंने बताया, इफ इट इज नॉट इक्वल टू म्यू एच ओ, देन देयर आर टू चांसेस. फर्स्ट, इट इज ग्रेटर देन म्यू एच ओ, और इट इज लेस देन म्यू एच ओ. So this is called as two-tailed test, because there are both possibility that if this is HO, then my actual value can be less than HO also and greater than HO also. So in this case there will be two rejection areas. ये जो dash वाला area आपको दिख रहा है, it is called as rejection region. Okay, so this is the particular scenario for two-tailed test, where there. Now we will talk about one-tailed test, where again your null hypothesis is mu is equal to mu ho. So alternate is mu is not equal to mu ho, but there is only one chance that mu can only be less than mu ho. There are no chances that mu is greater than mu ho. आपका रिसर्च ही ऐसा है जिसमें आपको एक ही तरफ वैल्यू होने के चांसेस हैं. म्यू कैन बी आइदर इक्वल टू एच ओ और इट कैन बी लेस देन एच ओ. सो इन दिस वे यू विल गेट ओनली वन रिजेक्शन रीजन. So this is the statistical phenomena by which we can either perform one-tailed test for our research, or we will perform two-tailed test. And this is finally the procedure for hypothesis testing, which we will do in the upcoming lectures in a numerical manner. So it starts from a basic making a formal statement, जिसको हम बोलते हैं hypothesis statement. Then we have to select the significance level. Then we decide the distribution to use. Generally we use normal distribution. Selecting a random sample and computing appropriate value. Calculation of the probability and comparison of the probability. So by this particular flow diagram you will understand that how the hypothesis testing is carried out. So first we have to state both the hypothesis, then level of significance, then sample we find out, then calculate the probability. If the probability is equal to or smaller than the value in case of one-tailed test and two-tailed test, we will see it statistically in the upcoming chapter. So we reject the null hypothesis and ultimately we accept the alternative hypothesis. Otherwise we reject the we accept the null hypothesis and reject the alternative hypothesis. Okay. So in this way we always carry out the hypothesis testing for any kind of research, specifically engineering research. So thank you. If there are any queries, you can contact on mail.